Welcome to the Father Knowts podcast, and I am your host, Warren W. Patten Jr., or you can call me Father Patten. Father Knowts is an informational style podcast created to give fathers a voice in their family structure. I encourage fathers to take back fatherhood and shake the trees of tradition to create a stronger family unit. We'll also delve into men's health, leadership, mentorship, and so much more. Okay, men, it's time to be a better father on purpose. Hello again, fathers. Welcome to the Father Knowts podcast. And I am your host, Father Patten. Welcome back. Hey, we are rolling in season 2, and this is episode number 11. Now, the first season, I did 12 episodes. So the second season, I'm going to stay pretty much on track to get 12 episodes. Then I'm going to take a little pause, and then I'm going to come back with season 3. Oh, my goodness. Elated. Okay. So this episode, I'm so excited about because this one came really out of some of the things that have been happening here recently. And in the world that we're living in, fathers need to be present more than ever before. They need to be aware of what's going on. They need to be available. So that's really the title of this episode. Stay relevant, Father. Stay relevant. And Father, stay available. Stay relevant and stay available, specifically with your children. But you know me, as a father of 5 sons, I have to really talk about our sons. Stay relevant and stay available for your sons. It is tough out there, and they need you to be a support for them. They need you to lean on when times get tough. And I'm not talking about just financial issues where you have to dole out money, because my sons really don't ask me for money. But they do call me on occasion for serious matters, how to navigate, how to handle the household, how to deal with, their significant other, I'll say that. How to navigate that without getting upset. And, history says that when men get upset, they run away. They escape. They shut down. No, 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 no. I've taught my sons, speak up. Take your time, choose your words, and speak up. But see, I'm getting ahead of myself already. I want to kind of break this down. I want to start with saying, stay relevant. And that's so important for fathers. You got to stay relevant with the times. And I know at my age, I've already done my work history and I've shown our sons how we've navigated different things, how I've made some decisions, and some good, some not so good. But some tough decisions that have to be made, whether everyone agrees or not. This is the decision for the family, because as a father, you have to protect. You have to make sure that everyone is secure, and they don't always understand why you do what you do. But that's what a father should do, is explain to them after the fact, this is why I did what I did. So when I say stay relevant with your sons, talk to your sons on a regular basis. And I'm not talking about every week. We can't do that. But in the last 30 days, I've talked to each one of my sons. A couple of them have reached out to me, and 3 of them, I've reached out to them. And sometimes it gets so heavy, they don't say, well, Father doesn't want to hear my problems. Yes, I do. Yes, I do, because I think I can help you work through those problems. Everyone has them. I told our sons, I said, me and your mother make things look really good. Y'all think we're perfect, and we are not. But we are a fine old machine, and we can make things happen. My wife and I, oh yes, we can make things happen, and we make it seem flawless. But we work on it. But we have so much experience with this game. So I said, don't get fooled by what your mother and I do, because we know exactly what we do, how we do it, and we can navigate and we can come up with solutions. That's what we do. But we had to learn that y'all weren't around when we were having our issues and problems and situations, trials and tribulations. Y'all weren't around because we waited before we had children. But that was our choice. So when I say stay relevant, talk to your sons on a regular basis. Give them words in their vocabulary. You have to give them words in their vocabulary that they can use to navigate this world because it's a new world. It's not your world, it's their world right now. So you have to give them words in their vocabulary. When you're talking to them and they're using certain terms, you might want to give them a couple of extra terms, some larger words, some different words to use that they're so used to using. And I have to do that with each one of my sons because they have their friends that they deal with and they have their circle of people that they talk to on a regular basis. And then things have to change when they talk to father. And that's okay. I don't judge them. I just say, hey, that word right there, that can be, kind of tough. Try this word right here. So, and they trust me. They trust me with that. Now, the importance of their vocabulary, because proper words and their vocabulary, it gives your sons confidence, confidence on how they navigate different situations. And that's how they navigate in their workplace, at their job, in the family with their significant other. Those words give them confidence, and they need the confidence to be able to speak up, especially when things get tough. Now, when my sons have an issue with their significant other and they get fed up and she just keeps on going, I say, sir, all you got to do is say, when you're ready to talk to me in a regular tone, let me know. But right now, I don't want to talk to you because you're a little bit too high up there and too emotional. When you come down and we can have a conversation, I'll be ready for you. But right now, I have to go to the garage. you know, you you have to pick and choose what you do. But that's one thing I say to my sons, don't leave the home. I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna come back to that because that's a crucial one. That's a crucial one. Now, don't wait for your sons to call you all the time. You call them. This is so important. And I am learning from both sides, because my parents are in their 80s and they don't call. They think everyone should call them. And that's okay. That's their generation. They're sitting back waiting and then they wonder, how come you haven't called me when I do call? That's okay. I can manage that. No big deal. I know I need to call my father because he's not going to call me. No matter what, my mother, she's not going to call me unless she needs something. But then again, she always tells me, I don't want to need you. I know, mother, call me. So my sons, they necessarily don't think about calling me until something gets tough. I don't want that to be our only discussion. So sometimes I'll call them with a little levity, to just, how's it going, son? Tell me about some things that's going on with you, just that. And then sometimes they want to know what I'm doing because, I stay pretty busy. In that conversation, enjoy every conversation with them. You have to really pick and choose and have some good laughs. That was one of the reasons this episode came up. I've talked to each one of my sons, and all of the discussion did not start out being positive. It's about some issue, but we always end up laughing, joking, having such a good time. I have such a great relationship with them. And they keep me smiling and laughing so hard, and I can hear them laughing on the other line. So have those moments where you celebrate with them some of their successes, even sometimes when you don't think it's a success. It's a success to them. So you have to celebrate it. It's not about being fake, it's about being real. That is wonderful that you think that's a celebration because we can't be judges of everything. Celebrate every milestone. My sons are uncles now because, so a couple of my sons have children, but they don't always remember the birthdays. That's something that everybody doesn't put attention into, but I do. So I sent a little message in our group chat. Hey, uncles, your nephew has a birthday today. And they're like, ooh, thanks, Father, for reminding me. I thought about that. I didn't know exactly which day. All of those things. I don't judge, but I want them to understand it's very important that you stay connected with family, especially the very first in our family, And there are different reasons why they're uncles in our family. So that's why we have to do it because it didn't happen in the traditional way. So I try to keep the relevance for each one of them and celebrate those milestones, those anniversaries, those birthdays. Those things are important to, I think, to a family. They may not be important to each individual. That's okay. But I want them to understand in the course of this, it's important in the family that you recognize those milestones in their lives and be tuned in to your son's hobbies, the things that they love to do, the things that make their eyes twirl, those things that say, hey, Father, and each one of my sons have their own little thing that they love to do. And I try to stay very involved in that. And I try to stay hyper positive. I give those affirmations real hard because I know they love it. And they don't think anyone else is paying attention or even interested, but I am interested. I don't play any games, but I got a son that knows how he streams games and he runs tournaments and everything. But I'm into that. I'm into the fact that he can do it, because it's a little bit of me. I can run things like that. So, my other son has a hobby of doing lights and he still got that. He wants to do some lights and everything. And I tell him, hey, do some lights. That can't be the only thing that you do, but do those lights, enjoy it. Got another son that's an artist. He can draw like crazy. That's not his full-time job, but I'm always into it. Another son who's very outgoing, got that personality. He gets that from his father. And he's trying to find where his place is in that. And then my other son, Joshua, oh my goodness, the political mind, that mind is always thinking about what's going on in this world. I got to be careful when I talk to him because he might, we get into some debates, but we love it though. We've always been the debate team. Yes, indeed. So remember that, Father. Keep in touch with your sons and stay relevant. Give them the vocabulary that will keep them moving forward. Okay, let's take a pause. The second part of this is stay available. Stay available, Father. So when they do call you, you are there for them and you're ready for the conversation. Help your sons manage their emotions. I've had each one of my sons, not over the last 30 days, but over the last 6 months, they call me and I can tell that it's heavy and they're crying. I mean, they are sobbing. And I'm right there with them. I don't judge. I listen and I let them know that crying is a part of being a strong man because you got to release that pressure, and that's one way we do it. Get that cry out because it's tough. And sometimes you don't have the answer themselves. They don't have the answer themselves. So you have to come up with that answer for them because it's so cloudy up there and they want to do the right thing. That's the part that you have to look for. They want to do the right thing. They don't want to lead themselves astray. So they get to that point and they've run into the wall and they're like, who is going to help me get by this? I'm going to call my father. So without shutting down, I tell them, check in. Don't shut down. Don't give up. Check in with me if you have to. And if your significant other gets upset and angry because you have to always call your father, tell them to call me too. They may not have anyone to talk to. I'll talk to them too. Hey, it is real. They need to know. And I don't talk bad about their significant other. That's why I said, tell them to call me, put them on speaker, but tell them to get ready. I'm going to be very, very straightforward and very candid with them because this is real world. We ain't playing games. Now, if you want to play games, you got the wrong son. I've already taught them. There's no game playing. And I've taught my sons when you get into a situation, number one, I think on the last episode or one of my previous episodes, I always told my son, don't move into a woman's place. Don't move into her apartment, her home. She will put you out. So help me. She will put you. Don't do it. You invite the woman into your home. That's it. There's no game playing about, well, you need to get out. No, that's not happening. I'm not going anywhere. This is my home. And I invited you here. So you can't put me out. Let's not even play that game. That's a TikTok game. Don't do that. Don't do that. So I always say, don't leave your home. Don't leave your house. When you get upset, don't get in the car and ride away. You better go to another room. But don't run away because she's going to get used to you doing that. When she gets you good mad, and you going to leave. I have accomplished my goal. This is my home now. No, don't go anywhere. I'm telling you, tell your sons don't leave the house. And if they're having a problem with their emotion, going to put their hands on, you should have been working on them a long time ago. So my sons don't have that issue, but they do get upset. And sometimes they do have to get in their car and ride. And I say, get back to your home. Don't relinquish your home to her. Don't do it. Don't abandon your castle. Mhm. Then also I talk to them about, when you're having conversation, tough conversation, say, hey, right now, both of us are not in a position to make a good sound decision. Let's talk about it later tonight or tomorrow. But you have to be the one to bring it back up. Set up a time, but be straight about it. And sometimes women want to talk about it all day, every day. You can't do that. There's so many other important things that need to be done. And all decisions don't have to be made right now. You have to prioritize what needs to be done. So right now is not always the right time. I'm telling you, you have to give them that mindset to where they can navigate and they can move things around because that's what men do. They compartmentalize different things. This is over here, and this is over here, and this is down here, and this is over here. Women, they can talk about all four of them at the same time. Sometimes it does not match in the household. So you have to really work together and compromise, but you have to give your son the words that they can use. They can't say shut up. That never works. That's what I taught in our household. There was no shut up. Said right now I need you to be quiet, please, while we have this conversation. Gentlemen, well, you can't talk right now. Your mother and I are talking. Then now it's time for you to talk. Those kind of things, those boundaries, or if you want to call them those things that are supposed to help you navigate and get things done. And they are start to understand. So I just love having conversations with my sons. So be available and be ready to have that conversation, no matter how long it takes. But you have to put a time frame on it because if you keep on, you just might get going. I like for our discussions to be meaningful, on track. And sometimes we get off track because they're a lot like me. They like all kinds of different cartoons and things like that. So we always have to get our little quips in on the different cartoons that I like and that they like. So that's just how we are, different shows and everything. So, but make sure you stay relevant. Father, stay relevant with your sons. Father, stay available for your sons. You got to be there for them. They have to be there. Their friends may not have experienced enough to help them through some of the tough times. So that's where you have to show up as much as you can when the time is right. When they are ready for you, you got to be able to show up. So I hope this helps you, Father, because I think it's very important. Now, I know I talked specifically about sons, and that's what I'm going to do. But I think this works for your daughters too. I'm telling you, your daughters have a lot of words, and you have to really get prepared for the words that they have. So, as a father of a daughter, I know you have to be prepared. Now, and I understand that the words, they have them, but you have to also listen, be available, and you got to know when to say, pause, little girl, pause for a second. Let me see if I got what you've given me so far, because they can give you a lot in a short amount of time. Unlike boys, I'm telling you, unlike sons, they don't have all those words. So I'm just telling this is just my take on it. And you saying, well, how do you know if you don't have a daughter? Because I have sisters and I have a wife. They got words. I'm telling you. I can't compete with all those words. But I can navigate and monitor the situation quite well with the words that I have. Because I've been working hard on this. Ever since my mother, I've been working hard on the right words to use. Because there have been a few times I've said things to her and she slapped me upside my head so quick. I said, I can take it, mother. I can take it. Let's try it again. Scene 2. We are such in a better place now. Don't worry. I just tell you that because that was years ago. I've been working on my mother for many decades, but she's pretty awesome. So I'm going to stop here because I think that's all you need, Father, to kind of help you stay relevant, stay available. This is Father Patten. See you on the next episode. Thanks for joining the Father Knows podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel at 1W Patten Jr. That's Patten Jr. Follow our socials on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Father, make the choice to use your voice.